Welcome to FOMO Consulting for your daily AMC Stock Analysis video on Monday, July 12th. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a very crucial moment. And as always, the apes are winning, the diamond hands are winning, most importantly, the retail investors winning. So if you find this video informative and entertaining, please like, share, certainly comment, and most importantly, subscribe. It is a newer channel, and I would appreciate the support. Let's get into the video. Thank you, as always, each and every one of you who has liked, shared, commented, and subscribed. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you very much. So let's start with a quote. A wise man makes his own decision. An ignorant man follows public opinion, from an ancient Chinese proverb. Obviously, there's a lot of red days in a row with AMC stock, and each and every one of us can and will make our own decisions about how to go forward. Let's get into the broader market. Overall, great day on the broader market. S&P up 15 points, Dow up 126 points, NASDAQ up 31 points, Russell up 1 point. Recovered slightly at the very end of the day. Obviously, it sold off very heavily, and we'll get into that shortly. Overall, big tech was mixed, but a lot of positivity around the market today. Nothing too terribly crazy. There were some all-time highs, which is great to see. I am interested to see how the rest of the week plays out because there's a lot of news coming out in the coming days. Tomorrow morning there is CPI, which is always concerning for the market. I anticipate probably some red in the futures pre-market. We'll see how that goes, obviously around inflation or what have you. The Fed will be speaking, or Jerome Powell will be speaking later this week, which always rattles the market. But a lot of big earnings report, especially in the financial sector. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, certainly Wells Fargo, not a fan favorite these days due to the personal loan abolishment, Citigroup, Bank of America, what have you. And then Wednesday, obviously, big news around GME. We'll get into that shortly. Crypto is having a rough day, actually a very rough day. Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Doge, all down pretty heavily today. Doge is down close to 20 cents or so. So it's been kind of a rough few days. Obviously, volatility is very high in crypto these days, but I know all you hardcore crypto people will stay committed. Fantastic news around AMC. Obviously, AMC sets another post-reopening weekend attendance record with approximately 3.2 million moviegoers globally from Thursday through Sunday. AMC stock is in focus after huge Black Widow debut. Could present a buying opportunity, but we know our opponent wanted to squash that enthusiasm today. Black Widow smashes pandemic record with huge $80 million domestic opening. They also had another $60 million in premier access rentals on streaming. So overall, absolute fantastic weekend, not only for AMC, but the movie industry as a whole. And streaming certainly got their bite. So Germany had a similar day as the American exchanges, down 6.77%, 36.75 euros. And I've been looking around, kind of how the German market may play into what's going on in the American exchanges. And I did not know this, but I wanted to share it. Back in 2010, Germany announced a short selling ban. It also obviously banned naked transaction of credit default swaps, etc. So actually, I did not know this, wanted to share it. What a wonderful world that would be, right, in the United States and Canada. So obviously, AMC had a down day today, $42.61, down $3.58, or 7.74%. Down after hours as well. Looks like we're trending closer to $1 down. I believe personally this is all manufactured. It is manipulation, but I do believe there is some selling. We'll get into that very shortly. And as you can see, most days we follow the Russell 2000. The past 2 days we have absolutely not. We have actually trended in the exact opposite direction as the Russell has climbed. We have fallen, which as well as GME, which says to me this is being heavily manipulated, heavily shorted. It is not trending with the broader market of the Russell 2000, ETFs, and others. And as you can see, at 4 a.m., they decided with a few thousand shares, I think it's like 10, 15,000 shares, to drop it $3 just to make sure that your Monday was ruined bright and early, right? So overall, it got pinned, it ebbed and flowed throughout pre-market, but that drop at 4 a.m. I do not believe was by accident. So if you look at the 1 hour chart, really volume doesn't always equate to price action, running up or bearish or bullish, but it does create volatility. And what we need right now is some volatility, hopefully on the bullish side. But as you can see, the RSI and MACD have also been pressed down pretty low on the 1 hour chart. They've just been working this down each and every day, pressing it. Your guess is as good as mine. It could be naked shorts, obviously heavy shorting, whatever kind of selling they're doing, but it is certainly putting enormous selling pressure on this stock. So let's look at this chart. This is the 2 hour chart. And I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But that red line to me, in my opinion, is obviously a heavy level of support for us around that $38 to $40 level. We are not so smart that we're the only people that know this, right? The whales know it. Everybody knows it. We have now bounced off of it 3 very distinct times. It is a major level of support. I believe they are trying their best to break that level of support without a doubt, as you can clearly see. Let's look at a different perspective. On the 4 hour chart, you can clearly see we've bounced off of that 38 to 40 level now 3 times. Very substantial support. That if that support breaks, in my opinion, we may fall rather quickly. So let's keep our eyes open. Do what you need to do. But you can see the RSI on the 4 hour chart is absolutely oversold. MACD is certainly oversold. We may be making a slight turn, but I personally don't believe this will be green over the next couple of days based on what I'm seeing. I believe they're going to continue the heavy attacks. They are not going to give up, and we may try to bounce off of that support. And again, that red line is absolutely critical to maintaining the channel that we're in, quite frankly, and maintaining the upward momentum. Hopefully, if we do touch it, we bounce and bounce substantially. But I also have a personal hypothesis. They're trying to break that support to get a few whales to sell off to help their cause. If that support breaks, it could very easily go into the mid 30s, if not low 30s, rather quickly. Again, this is just my personal opinion, and again, it's just my personal analysis. We could also bounce and go upwards, which is very distinctly possible, and that is all of our hope. What I want to show you here is what gives me concern again. So if you look at that, kind of the bow we've been in over the last really month, it's basically created an inverted cup and handle. We could also call it a double bottom, which would be somewhat bullish, but it looks really to me more like a inverted cup and handle. Obviously, RSI has been pressed way down, but as you can see, that bounce we had, I believe, last Thursday was very substantial, but it also helped kind of create the handle. So if you look at this stock chart, an example, this is what an inverted cup and handle would look like, which is actually very bearish. There's a few indicators. Obviously, you have the distinct run up and then a pretty steep fall off before it bottoms out and finds a new level of support. And it's also on lower volume, which of course we've had. So again, it's just my personal analysis. It's my own idea about what may be going on or they're trying to force to happen. But again, I wanted to bring it to your attention. You can see it yet again, kind of the inverted cup and handle type scenario. Obviously, that level of support is very, very critical to holding. And you can see where the MACD has been pressed down as well as the RSI. We need a bounce, folks. We just need a bounce. And sadly enough, the alligator's mouth is now closed. RSI is in the neutral, slightly below neutral, and again, MACD is in a bearish direction, but hopefully it will curl around with some buying pressure. And you can see again, GME has been beaten up for days and weeks, no different than us. That $190 level, 200 level is just pretty much the channel it's been trading in, but it may very well get the break it needs this week. But you can see where it traded completely alternate to the Russell 2000 as well, the same as AMC, which means it's being manipulated, in my opinion. As you can see, GME ran up, over a period of time, and it's fallen back off. But this may be the game changer. This may really set the world on fire on Wednesday. Who knows? I believe they're trying to get as many people out of these plays as possible because this is a big deal, folks. This is a very big deal happening Wednesday. Hopefully, all the good news and all speculation will come true. And I am pulling for everybody that's involved in GME as well as AMC. IWM, you can see where it trended very similarly to the Russell 2000, which is, again, the ETF it's associated with. The fact that GME and AMC did not just tells me it's being manipulated. So I'm sure a lot of people watched the Virgin Galactic space flight yesterday with Sir Richard Branson, which was absolutely cool, in my opinion. But this was unfortunately, a buy the rumor, sell the news type scenario. Absolutely fell off a cliff at opening bell simply because they want to sell up to 500 million more in common stock, and investors certainly did not like the idea of dilution. Uh, there was a lot of pre-market momentum, obviously a lot of excitement yesterday about what SPC may do today, and that little bit of news pretty much flipped it on its head, unfortunately, but I think it's going to be a pretty cool long-term play. MDIA absolutely rocketed today, 300%. If you're involved in this, congratulations. I watched it. It was a pretty cool run. So if you're involved with it, got involved with it, pretty cool. Congratulations. Disney had a fantastic day today. Ran up really, really hard. Obviously, there was a lot of news around. Obviously, Black Widow for them on the streaming service with Marvel and what have you, but also some other bullish news around Disney. So overall, great day for Disney if you're involved. Congratulations. 37.75 days average time that shorts have been in their positions, and nothing has fundamentally changed really with the short interest trend data. Shares on loan is around 100 million at 99. Cost to borrow around 2%. Utilization has gone up 91.39. We're still around that 18.75, 19% range on short interest. They borrowed, strangely enough, in my opinion, on a red day like today versus history, a very low amount of shares today were borrowed at 1.82. Take that for what it's worth. To press the price down as hard as they did today and as smoothly as they did, including after hours and pre-market, I find that number very, very hard to believe. And the institutional ownership is at 430, 390 long, 14 short, and 26 long and short. Volume was again low today at 61,750,000 short shares available according to Fintel at 1.14%. Really only option you can see currently where we are, the open interest, the volume, really not a whole heck of a lot going on in that range right now, but you can certainly see at the $50 strike and the $55 strike on the call side. Pretty good amount of open interest, as well as again the 50 level and the 45 level on the put side. So overall, you know, this will build out probably a little bit more as the week goes on, but really not a whole heck of a lot to talk about in this range. Overall, volumes again very low, about 600,000 on the options chain, 1.8 to 1, nearly 2 to 1 ratio, very bullish even on lower volume. But as you can see, not a huge amount of trades, not enormous amounts, but a lot of calls, it would appear today. So overall, we'll see how it plays out, but volumes are certainly low. So let's close with a quote. Stay committed in your decisions, but flexible in your approach. Obviously, you know, there's a lot going on with this stock. I know there's apes and diamond hands, retail investors that are heavily invested in this, as am I. But also, you know, it's a very real emotion to see multiple days of red, and I can certainly understand the anger and the frustration many of you are probably going through as well as I. So if you found this video informative and entertaining, please like, share, certainly comment, and subscribe. I want to thank you all for watching, and as always, I hope your life is full of green candles. I hope you have a great day. Take care.